Hello and welcome back to Demure Soul Bloom. I hope you guys have been having an amazing week, right? And you guys have been working on your personal growth as you should be. So today's topic is all about dismissive avoidance, how they develop this kind of an attachment, what are the triggers for them, and how to actually overcome this attachment style, right? For dismissive avoidance, it is very natural to escape from emotional closeness because you guys believe more in emotional distancing. You put so much importance in your own self that you run away from emotional closeness, from emotional relationships because you believe that what's the point? What is the point of being so emotionally indulgent if it's only going to bring pain and hurt? Which is not the case, honestly. Emotional relationships just don't bring pain and hurt. It's okay. People make mistakes. You go through hurt. You experience pain. That is all human. Okay? And you guys are a sucker for independence. You guys put independence on a pedestal where you ignore everybody, where you would escape from anything, any relationship that comes your way because it threatens your independence. If you feel any decision is threatening your independence, you will actually run away from it even if that relationship is good for you. See, the point here for you lies, you definitely will be asking that, personal development is all about self-growth, self-concept, and I already have a very good self-concept. That is very good. You having a good self-concept is a very strong foundation for your personal development. But relationships, emotional relationships are equally important for your personal growth. Because understand this, that how amazing would it be that you already are so confident in yourself, you love yourself, and at the same time you have fulfilling relationships, emotionally fulfilling relationships, physically fulfilling relationships. This fulfillment that I'm talking about is something that you should be seeking and not running away from. You know why you run away from emotional closeness or why you run away from anybody who tries to connect with you on a deeper level? It is because as a child, when you were supposed to receive love, care, attention, you were ignored. Your caregivers did not provide you with the love and attention which you craved. Therefore, you learned this coping mechanism of, self-reliance, completely depending on yourself. And whenever you saw something where you had to deal with emotions or be emotionally intelligent, you disengage, you distance yourself from it. You emotionally distance yourself because somewhere you don't want emotions. You don't want to be involved because you were never taught how to process emotions. You were never taught how to deal with emotions. And it is honestly not your fault. Neither is it your caregiver's fault. Because your caregivers modeled the behavior they thought was best. They were dealing with their own traumas. They projected their own pain. And that is okay. That has nothing to do with you. And you already know that. You already know that. That is why you have such a strong self-concept. That is why you know who you are. And all of that is amazing. But stop using this self-confidence as a coping mechanism for yourself. Coping mechanism from having those deep emotional connections which take you to places, which make you feel so amazing. Don't run away from them. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be completely and you don't have to undermine yourself or let go off of your independence even if you are in a deeper emotional connection. Emotional connections are there for a reason because every human on this earth, we have to go through a certain amount of emotions, and the more we suppress it, the more you suppress your emotions, the more you suppress your vulnerability, the more you run away from emotions, the more you run away from connection. You will somewhere or the other always feel dissatisfied. Because yeah, you will have those moments where you'll be like, I don't need anybody, I'm good by myself, and that's amazing. You should have those moments. But there will also be moments where you'll be like, I wish I had someone to talk to. I wish I had somebody to hold on to. I wish I had someone with whom I could have a secure attachment and a meaningful relationship. It's all very natural. Triggers that come up for you over time is usually if somebody tries to tell you what to do, or if somebody directs you as to, be emotionally available or try to be emotionally available, it triggers you. You disengage. You completely nullify whatever the person in front is saying because you're like, emotions? Oh my god. I don't know. Like literally, your unconscious goes like, I've never dealt with emotions. I don't know how to deal with them. You better not get into this. And therefore, you disengage, you run away, you don't text back. When you date a dismissive avoidant, right? When you date such kind of people, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you show them that, I am here for you, I'm gonna be here for you. Honestly, you are just annoying them, you're just triggering them because you're letting them know that they are so incapable of processing their own emotions that they need you to do it, and that threatens their independence. That threatens their emotional distancing. Therefore, they respond the way they respond, and it is not on you. It is completely, honestly, not on you. It is on the avoidant person who just rejects to understand themselves, who rejects to understand emotions, who just go like, why should I do it? Like, I don't want to. It is great you have, so much self-confidence. A lot of people out there don't have it. Now imagine when you already have that self-confidence and you approach social beings, you approach relationships in a manner where you are like, you know what? I know who I am. I know what I want. You tell me. What are you bringing to the table? When you do this, what are you bringing to the table? You're just triggering your own self. Because you're like, oh my god, you feel threatened when somebody brings in a more, you can say, emotional depth to the connection. It is very natural for you to just run away from people. It is very natural for you to always be alone and be so hyper independent and be like, I'm earning money, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Why do I even need people? I mean, you tell me, why do you need people? I need people because I like to socialize. Do you like to socialize? I don't think so you like to socialize, because socializing literally is composed of interactions, and those interactions involve emotional interactions as well. Intellectual, physical, mental, everything will happen. But until and unless you actually have interacted on a deeper emotional level, how will you ever feel fulfilled? And you know why you don't feel fulfilled right now, and why you feel that everything is so fogged, nothing works out the way I want it to, why is everything working out so slow? It's because you're not ready to face your own self. You're not ready to face your own demons. You're not ready to face your own pain, your hurt. You're not ready to face your emotions. You're ready to face your actions. You're ready to take accountability of those actions, but you are not ready to take accountability of the emotions which come with those actions, or which came to certain responses. You might have in your childhood gone to your parents and been like, I accomplished this and it makes me feel so happy. Do you like it? And your parent ignored you, or your caregiver ignored you, or completely like forgot your existence and only came to you when it was like, are you doing this kind of a thing? You'll obviously learn to rely only on yourself, and you will always have a negative perception of the person in front. This is a very big characteristic of dismissive avoidance. You people view the world as a jail. You view the people in the world as snakes. You have such negative perspective of others, and you have so much distrust towards others that anybody who tries to even mildly come close to you, you push them back so hard that sometimes even you question that, why did I do it? I like that person. I like talking to him, or I like talking to her. But for some reason, I could not take it anymore. I just had to be in that distance. I just had to make that distance for myself. If this is your reasoning for pushing somebody off who was trying to emotionally be available for you, who was trying to tell you, also, yeah, it is very important to remember that, dismissive avoidance, when somebody criticizes them for their emotional unavailability, they get further triggered. They go like, yeah, so what? Emotions don't matter. So if you're trying to communicate with this person emotionally, it won't be possible. If you try to criticize them, won't help you. Nothing will help you until and unless the dismissive avoidant themselves are ready to take accountability of the fact that, we might not be emotionally aware. We might be aware about everything that's going on around. We might be aware about whatever our body is feeling. But you are not aware of what emotions your body holds, what emotions go around, what emotions even mean. So honestly, your triggers are very normal. Like when somebody, okay, in an office setup, if somebody is trying to come to you and try to initiate a conversation where, they are trying to be friendly with you, and you also like this person mildly, you're like, yeah, tolerable person only. This very word, tolerable person, it is a negative perspective of others. When others are only tolerable for you, your emotions are also only tolerable for you. And the moment you cannot tolerate those emotions anymore, you push them away. It's the same way you push the people away. And it's okay. I mean, you don't have to blame yourself. You don't have to be harsh on yourself. There is no reason to be harsh on yourself. Like, why do you want to be so rude to your own self? Talk to yourself nicely. You already have that self-confidence and self-concept of you. You just need to remember that, you're on this earth, you're on this planet, you're in this moment, you're watching this video just because you are trying to know yourself better, you are trying to know your emotions better. And you are trying to be aware about your triggers, you're trying to be aware about what this means, where all of these came from. And it's okay. Just try to trace back. Okay, in order to heal from this attachment style, what I recommend is try to make note, try to journal, try to bring those memories out where you were dismissed by anybody and it impacted you, because of which you became so hyper independent, because of which you became so self-reliant. I am again putting it out as a disclaimer that self-reliance and self-concept is nothing negative, but when it is too much, it impacts you negatively. It is not negative. The impact comes in later when it becomes hyper. So don't think that self-concept or self-confidence is wrong, okay? Now, when you want to heal from it, make note of those memories. Use journal prompts. Ask yourself, when you have this monologue within you, try to be aware. Where are you trying to push people off? Where are you trying to be like, I don't need it, I'm okay, even if that situation does not require such kind of a response, okay? And if you see that you are getting completely frustrated, suffocated, when you usually feel suffocated when people pester you to emotionally open up, which you are not ready for. When these situation comes up, when these triggers come up, remember you are only triggered because you are seeing something in the person in front that you already have but you have ignored within you. Okay? Remember this. Remember that anything that triggers you, anything that you look at a person and it triggers you, or a relationship that triggers you, there is something in that relationship which is showing that, you know, this aspect of you, you have it, but you have ignored it for so long that you're not ready to accept it even outside of you, since you have not accepted it within you. Okay? So, journaling, questioning, writing, knowing, being aware of your inner monologue is the first step to curing this kind of attachment style, alright? And then you need to realize you need to get out of your comfort zone. Like, a lot of people stay stuck in a particular situation because of their familiarity to it, because they feel so familiar to that situation that they are like, you know what, we'll just keep on doing this because we are way too comfortable in it. Get out of your comfort zone. Like, literally get out of your comfort zone. The same way you get out of your comfort zone for your work, for your career, for your life, for your own self, for your self-worth, to prove your self-concept to yourself, the same way you get out of your comfort zone, you push yourself, you get into unfamiliarity. Do the same thing with connections and relationships. Do the same thing with your own self as well. Try to build that relationship with your own self where you get to know your emotions. Let it be uncomfortable. How long can it be uncomfortable for? When you start something new in the beginning, it will always be uncomfortable. It takes time for your mind, for you, for your body to get accustomed to this new change. So it's okay. Get out of your comfort zone and it will help you, okay? And lastly, meditate. Meditate on your emotions, the body. Like, focus on the parts of the body where you feel there are heavy emotions or heavy energies or something which is very stiff. Breathe in those spaces and ask your body as to what emotion is stored there, what is stored inside of you that you have not, released yet. Do it. It will help you. And that's all for today. That's all that I had to talk about. That's all that I wanted all of you to know. And stay tuned for more videos. I'll put up a tarot reading video soon because this is all about talking today. I wanted to give out, practical methods for you to have a more secure attachment, not just with your own self, but with the people around you, right? That's how you grow, and that is how personal development takes place. I hope you had a great time. Like and subscribe, please, and leave a comment. Tell me, what do you want me to talk about? How do you like the video? Whatever you want to say, just say. I would love to read it. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in.